Check out this viral video that just surfaced showing this female police officer in Alabama essentially using her taser as a torture device on this handcuffed guy who's just crying. In response to his crying, she says, "Do you want it again?"
Oh yeah.
I'm saying what you saying, oh yeah, for.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the up. You was big and bad. Shut your up.
More details on this story are found at al.com. I'll post a link to this media report in the description link below. Basically, an Alabama police officer is now on leave while authorities investigate a weekend arrest captured on video in Reform, aptly named town in Alabama, showing a handcuffed man being hit with a taser. The video begins with a white female officer from the Reform Police Department in Pickens County ordering the black man to, quote, stand up after he was handcuffed in the roadway in Pickens County. She then tells him to lay down on the front of a vehicle, which he does, face down. The officer then holds a taser to the man's back while she goes through his pockets. She tells him to stay still, at which point he says, "I ain't doing bro, I got a gun right there." The officer laughs as she retrieves the gun and says, "Oh yeah." She then deploys the taser directly into the man's back, telling him to shut the expletive up as he screams. The man then begins to cry repeatedly, saying, "Oh my God." The officer then says, "Do you want it again?" As the man continues to cry, "Shut your ass up," the officer says. That's where the video ended. The video has been shared thousands of times on the internet.
Stand up. Right there on the front of the car. Stay still.
I ain't doing bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying what you saying, oh yeah, for. Oh my God!
Go.
Okay, down, oh my fuck. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the up. You was big and bad. Shut your ass up.
Reform Police Chief Richard Black and Mayor Melody Davis sent out a statement Monday acknowledging they are aware of the video involving a, quote, citizen arrest that took place on Saturday. The department is in the process of turning over all materials related to this arrest to the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation and has requested a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the arrest. Police and city officials referred questions about the arrest to 24th Judicial Circuit District Attorney Andy Hamlin. Hamlin said that the man was arrested on trafficking fentanyl charge. Did I get it right that time? He said more information is expected to be released later today. As I mentioned on Twitter, and I've been discussing this quite a bit on Twitter, I would be shocked, no pun intended, if in this case there was not a federal prosecution of this police officer. And I'm not saying that there shouldn't be in every wrongful tasering case, but this one in particular, well, you have a white cop and a black arrestee, coupled with the fact that he is very clearly from the video handcuffed. He's very clearly from the video not resisting or attempting to evade the police officer, not attempting to attack the police officer in any way, but is in total submission. Yet the police officer just maliciously still just tases him basically as a torture device. Usually when you see those cases, even when they aren't, even when race is not involved in them, feds jump at those because they are a piece of cake to prosecute, and this one in particular is all on video. This is a Fourth Amendment violation here. Excessive force during an arrest is a Fourth Amendment violation. How do the courts judge that? Well, the Graham factors. There are three things the courts look at. One, the severity of the crime at issue. That's one thing I don't really know here. It says that he was arrested for tracking fentanyl. So fairly serious. All right. Second factor, is he attempting to resist or evade arrest? No. The video shows, unless our eyes are lying to us, that he's handcuffed, he's in total submission to the officer's authority, in custody, and he's actually begging for mercy, and he's crying. So second Graham factor goes clearly in favor of the arrestee. Third Graham factor, and the most important usually, well always, is there an immediate safety threat to the officer or anyone else that may be resolved via use of the taser. That really is the most important analysis here, and that is absolutely missing from this factual scenario. Again, this man is totally submitted to the officer's authority, obeying the commands, and basically is just getting tased as a torture device, not even as a pain compliance device. If you look at the case law, the federal courts don't even like tasers to be used as a pain compliance device. They like them to be used where the circumstances would find it proportional. So federal case law makes clear that tasers are proportional force only when deployed in response to a situation in which a reasonable police officer would perceive some immediate danger that could be mitigated by use of the taser. So it's excessive and unreasonable for a police officer to electrically shock somebody who is not armed or no longer armed, who has been brought to the ground or in custody or has been restrained physically and is no longer actively resisting arrest, even if they were in the past. Immediate danger is therefore the most important fact. If the arrestee does not pose a continuing threat to the officer's safety, then there is no immediate danger, and therefore tasing the arrestee is excessive force. But you don't really need to go through all that big analysis to just see what any of us can see just by watching this video, that this was an excessive and malicious use of force just designed to cause pain and to punish this individual. And I think that crosses every line that's out there, so as to cause any federal agents or federal prosecutors that watch this video to want to jump on this case. And I can predict right now, and I'll bet good money on this, that that's exactly what happens. And this police officer gets prosecuted. Next, you'll be hearing about the indictment. And I believe this police officer will go to federal prison for what you see here. Oh yeah, and one other thing, just so that you know, qualified immunity is not a defense to criminal prosecution. So that's not going to be a factor at all if there is a prosecution here. It always can be asserted in a civil lawsuit if this individual wants to sue this police officer or other police officers involved, or perhaps the employer. Now, qualified immunity never applies, is not even a defense to a claim against the employer, but that's for another video. This police officer could assert qualified immunity in a civil lawsuit. However, qualified immunity will be deprived, will not be a good defense for the officer, where clearly established case law would put the objectively reasonable officer on notice that their behavior violates the Constitution. Here, there are just so many cases out there where taserings have been found to be constitutional violations, especially where arrestees are handcuffed and are not resisting. I noticed that somebody had questions about when I say freedom is scary, if I could explain that a little more. Well, sometimes I add a sentence to the front. I probably should do that every time. Well, the point is my freedom does not end where your fear begins, because freedom is scary. And if you don't want to live somewhere where you have freedom because it's scary, Singapore is nice this time of year, where they execute people for possession of marijuana. So freedom is scary. Deal with it. I'll see you next time.